All right, now we're live. That was test number 1 that failed because I forgot your name. So
I'm your uncle and you forgot my name.
I forgot your name. I got nervous. So this is Logan Duncan and Andy Basham. I had to write it down on the screen so I didn't forget.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I got better. All right, so this is issue number 1, podcast number 1. This will be going up on YouTube only for now because I still got to figure out the iTunes thing. So. And you don't have to make eye contact with me the entire time. You're more welcome to look at anything else.
Fine.
I don't like it, so I
don't
do
want to stare at you.
it. Okay.
You're a handsome fella.
I'm gonna start using this for the gaming channel. That way, you might be able to hear me a little better instead of me sounding like Steve from American Dad.
That's funny.
Steve and Darth Vader.
Yep, my breathing. You can always hear my breathing.
So, do you want to plug that real quick?
I've always been a heavy breather.
Do you want to plug that real quick?
Fat Dad's Gaming.
The YouTube, right?
Yep. We're gonna game and just do random things.
Just random shit.
Random
Random
stuff. I
stuff.
feel like at the time.
Moving the mic there for a second. So, it's Austin, right? You, Austin, and Michael for the most part. Just running through everything.
Yep.
Full disclosure, I'm a part of it, so
Yeah.
don't think I'm completely not biased here.
Yeah, we got our buddy Spanky's on there too, off and on.
Now, just for reference here, this is just kind of a talking thing. That way, asking some questions, that kind of stuff. So if there's anything you don't want to talk about, like I ask about, all you got to do is say, I don't want to talk about that, and I can cut that out or whatever.
I'm pretty open to everything.
I doubt, like I said, I doubt it, but you get some other people on here, we might.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
So, kind of to start with the topics here, the Google Stadia thing I was telling you about.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
So
it.
GDC, right? The Games Developer Conference they do pretty much every year.
Yeah.
Google unveiled their new console. Well, I say console, but console with air quotes. Pretty much, it's streaming.
I didn't know they were going to do a console.
Yeah, they want to go boxless. What it is basically they did a project like a test not too long ago where you could stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey on your computer. You don't need to download anything right in the browser. So it uses just your internet. You can play the whole game. Latency, that kind of stuff is a big worry. We used to live out. You used to live out in the sticks. So you had little MiFi, right? So you imagine trying to run like a full streaming game on that. Might be an issue. That's one of people's big worries. Basically, the demo they showed off, he was playing on his computer, the crappiest computer they could find, they said, and then he switched over to his phone, and it's seamless. Switched over to his tablet, seamless.
I wonder what kind of Wi-Fi signal.
Well, it said 25 megabits a second is what you're gonna need.
Did you figure like people store in this area?
Right.
They have like the old DSL.
Oh yeah, dial, that kind of stuff.
I think like the max one is like 12 to 15.
Yeah. And they even said it's not gonna be for everybody, but you gotta think about that. Who are they trying to reach with that? Maybe in the cities.
Yeah. They're more populated cities anyway.
Well, what it is you stream in your browser. They said get rid of the updates, get rid of the downloads, get rid of all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
No, it sounds good.
Okay, good. Get rid of the downloads, get rid of the updates. So you turn on your, I don't know. I guess you turn on your not console because they don't want to use consoles. I guess you turn on your TV because on your TV you gotta have the Chromecast, a little plug-in, kind of like a Fire Stick, but for Google.
That'll be for Google.
Right. So I don't know how you would even go about. I guess you start the Chrome browser because they wanted to run in your browser, and it's working. I mean, they shut off Doom, but it's got some.
It's crazy how big Google is.
No, well, they got the money to put into it. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're huge.
Is they're going to find a way to make it work. But latency is a big issue, like we said. Which isn't a big deal. And something.
So you even own what you play? Or?
That's one of the big things. No, there's no pricing model yet. They don't know if it's subscription. They don't know if it's free, but you buy the game, which is, excuse me, another tangent because why pay for the game if you don't officially own it? Kind of like digital games are now. Say Keith logs in on my account, then I can't access to that because my primary is on PS4. So I bought the game, but because somebody else is accessing that content, I can't play it, even though I spent that $60 on that game. So that's another thing is, what happens if you piss Google off and they tell you can't access your games anymore you paid for.
Or you're banned from something.
Right. That's the thing. It's
That's like if you get banned, because it's going to ban you by IP, or if you never go get on again.
Right.
Or...
I wouldn't know. Like I said, they just showed off some of the tech, so it's cool. It's seamless, but you're playing something like Call of Duty, man. You got that latency.
It doesn't sound like I like the idea of it
right.
Now. As of right now.
Everybody's iffy on it. There's camps who like it. There's camps who don't like it.
Yeah, definitely.
So everything, obviously. So I mean,
I've never been a big digital stream kind of.
No. Well, you play something like Call of Duty on that, and you got that lag, that latency. That's not exactly the best platform to play that on, and who's going to go for that when they could play it on their Xbox, PlayStation, that kind of thing. Yeah. Their PC, of course. I don't know. I guess they're trying to target people who maybe don't have a console, but they're big subscribers to Netflix, so you basically pay for the Netflix of games. Another big feature they advertised was, say you're watching someone on YouTube play Black Ops 4. You click, and it's got a little play button. You click it, you're right into your browser playing that game. 5 seconds. So how does that work? Do you have access to all those games subscription? But if it's not a subscription, is it just going to automatically charge you? That's the thing.
Who knows?
That's the thing. Who knows?
As
of right now, they haven't released anything, major on it. It's just what they showed at GDC, right? It's there. Another cool feature I thought was pretty neat that'd be cool in like battle royales is you can see your co-op partner's screen. You press a button, and it pops up that screen. So I could say we're playing Blackout, and I'm like, where are you at? I can hit that button, and it'll show me what you're seeing up in the corner. So I like that. I like that. I wish they'd start doing that other stuff, but
that's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it comes with a controller that connects to the Wi-Fi. It doesn't connect to your TV. It connects to Wi-Fi directly to their data servers. So it's streaming from their servers, but your controller's connected, so hopefully it cuts down on latency because Bluetooth is whatever.
Yeah.
So, and another cool thing about it was you got a button, right? You click on the button and it's Google Assistant. You can say, how do I get past this tomb? And Tomb Raider is the thing they were giving the example of, and it would tell you how to get past that tomb. It would look on the YouTube.
So it would search for you while you're stuck in the middle.
Right. So it's neat. It's got some neat ideas.
Yeah,
It's just
definitely.
It's just how are they going to execute that? You can set it down how hard they'll probably get it. Anyways, yeah, I'm wanting to get some booms later. The boom arms that come up and so we can just adjust and
move. Yeah. Well, this looked like it had a mount on the back of it.
It did. That's what it's for, and it's also got a DSLR input. So
you have to excuse me. I hear me sniff a little bit. I've had allergies bothering me.
It's that season. Everybody's sick now. Oh, the story I was going to tell you about my phone, right? So gear up for this shit.
I'm interested.
So I bought my phone off of Marketplace, right?
Off of Facebook.
Right.
Okay.
So you basically find something you want, you message them, and you go to wherever they want to meet you at. And you pay them the money, that kind of thing. There's all kinds of risk involved in it because you get somebody who wants to mug you, rape you, that kind of thing. Nothing very rapeable, but
that's where I carry guns. Where I go.
So I messaged this guy. It's pretty cheap. It's one of the ones I found the cheapest one, and it's one of the newer ones that I want. So I message him, and he's like, "Yeah, sure. We got to meet right now, though." And I don't want to stereotype or, try to make him seem worse than he was based off his picture. But this guy looked fucking scary. I ain't going to lie to you. He's throwing up gang signs and his fucking... you got to ask, why is he black? Because he was. So,
okay.
So, I'm like, oh, well, shit. Okay, we'll go. I'll meet you. So I'm like, all right, I'll be there in 40 minutes. It was right off the interstate, right off the bridge down there in Louisville. So it's there and then off. So it's not like going into the heart of Louisville or anything, not Frankfort, Kentucky or nothing. So, I message him, and, we get down there. And he's like, all right, man, I need you to meet me here instead. So we're going a little farther. We're going a little farther into the heart of Louisville there. So I'm like, oh, fuck.
Maybe you creep you out because Louisville's a shit town.
Right. Well, so,
total shit.
We get down to where he's at, and we park. I was going to go alone, but I ended up taking Katie with me. I don't know what good she would have done, but I guess maybe a meat shield, something like that. I could throw her out and run.
Definitely.
So we get down there, and we park behind this car, and I'm like, well, where's this guy at? And Katie's like, you want to get out and walk? I'm like, that's not a good idea. I don't think we should do that. So
let's get ready.
We see him in front of us, right? He's waving. So I'm like, okay. So I go out there, I walk up to his his driver's side door, and I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? He goes, hop on in the car, man. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like,
full nerves.
Like right there, I should have turned around and hauled ass. But I'm like, all right. So I go around and I open his car door. I sit in his passenger seat. I make sure I keep 1 foot out. 1 foot out, door open. I have the 38 on me. So worst case, big action movie, we shoot our way out. There's not 80 people with guns around there or anything. So,
but
just to be safe or
at least
sorry.
protection.
Right. So he's like, what's going on, man? How you doing? He's got face tattoos, everything else. So that's all. That's a good sign. I'm very excited for that. So
no, I'm not saying anything specific to race, whatever.
Right.
It's probably stolen because it came from
Louisville. That's in the area.
Yeah.
So
it's just Louisville.
First thing he says to me is, what's going on, man? I want you in here. Customer service is important. you know, if it sounds like I'm trying to do an accent, it's because I am. And, you know, so customer service is important. I'm like, yeah, man, okay, cool. I get that. Thanks for, you know. So he gives it to me. I'm like, here, you want to count the money? That way he's like, all right. So, you know, we get there. I'm sitting there and I look at him, right? Oh, man. Oh, man. Ah. So he's looking at the phone. He's, yeah, man, I'm trying to take the passcode off it. I'm like, oh, shit, this guy doesn't know the passcode. This thing's fucking stolen. I'm like, it's stolen. He's fiddled with the passcode. He's not a factory reset it. Oh, man. He was telling me as soon as I got there, he goes, yeah, man, I don't, you get all kinds of people trying to, you know, catfish you on Facebook Marketplace. You know, you get black guys pretend to be white guys. He goes, I don't deal with black guys no more. And I sitting there, I'm like, well, you want me to agree with you? I was sitting here with you. Do you want me to say, yeah, man, me too? I don't, me neither, man. I don't deal with them. Yeah. So
I get it.
The best thing I can do is like, yeah, you know, okay. I'm like, he's like, you know, I don't trust nobody around this area. I said, especially around this area, man. He goes, well, this isn't a high gang area, man. It's a high drug area. I'm like, oh, cool, okay. I'm gonna put that on my checklist not to come here ever fucking again. So, you know
me, I live in Tucson. I don't pull a gun on it. I'm so scared.
You just want to give me the
damn phone.
Give me the phone, take the money, I'm out of here. So we ended up being there for almost an hour. When you know a transaction's supposed to take like 10 minutes. Here's the phone, here's the money, looks good, okay, later.
Now you're in full-out conversation.
I learned this guy wants to be a fucking real estate agent, and he's got 3 kids. That's how far this conversation went into it.
Well, that's just nowadays people will just tell you their whole life story.
I not to be a dick, but I don't care. I want the phone and I want to get out of there. You know, I don't.
I work in an automotive factory.
Right.
And part of that is, you know, I got to train people here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being union president right now for the UAW, you know, the local. It's I hear everybody's life story.
Oh yeah.
Beginning to end, and most of the time it's within an 8-hour shift. So then the next day when I have to train them, they just repeat it.
Right.
Over.
Well, they don't want to have that awkward silence. They want it. You know,
I'd rather have the awkward silence. Run the machine that I showed you.
Just run it and do it so I can get out of here. So, you know, I find out he's got 3 kids, man. He doesn't want something this high tech. He wants something where he can just bare bones FaceTime with his kids. Which, sure, whatever. I get it. You know, if I get a phone out of it, stolen or not, I'll take it. So, you know, especially for the discount I got it at, which is also worrying. But worst case, I just lose the phone, right? And I'm back to square one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was that whole shit down there. It was. And
it sounded like fun.
Oh, no. So, he can't figure out.
Exciting.
He's like, man, I can't figure out how to take the passcode off. So I'm like, okay, you have it, right? He's like, yeah, I got it. Will you delete my photos, man? I trust you, right? You'll delete my photos. What fucking use would I have for photos of your kids?
Yeah.
And you, like, he's like, you don't look like a pedophile, man. I'm like, I'm 20 years old. So I'm like, all right.
Great.
So, you know, he's like, let me give the passcode. We were there so long in that car that Katie ended up walking out and coming up to the car. Everything okay? But first of all, don't fucking walk down here again in the middle of Louisville. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Second of all, yeah, we're fine. So she went back and he's like, I'm gonna give the passcode to your woman, man, just in case, you know, you guys can't get it off. So okay. So he walks up and he gives her passcode. We get all it figured out. You know, first thing I'm gonna do when I get his factory reset it. That way, all his pictures are off, all his
Everything's good.
I guess he didn't know how to do that. So he's like, all right, man, you know, you have a good day. He's like,
at least he did have like his own kids' pictures on there, so that makes it, you know.
Yeah. So he looks in the back of the truck for some reason. He's like, hey, man, what are you doing with those dumbbells? You know, because I had 2 weightlifting dumbbells have been there for, gosh, a year at this point. He's like, what are you doing with them dumbbells? I'm like, do you want the fucking dumbbells? He goes, yeah, man, if you ain't using them, I'm like, sure, take them. So he's leaving my dumbbells in arm. I should have been like, hey, man, $40 a piece. You can have the dumbbells.
You just wanted to get the hell out of it.
Yeah, I wanted to be gone. So
yeah.
listen, you know, he's like, I'm like, I shake your hand, man, but you know, you got dumbbells in my hand. He said, oh, it's fine. He sets them down, he shakes my hand. I'm like, all right, man, later. So I'm getting in my truck, right? You know, step up. He goes, hey, you fuck with speakers? I said, no, sir. I'm ready to go. He's like, not even big speakers? I'm like, nope, not even big speakers.
No speakers.
So we get the fuck out of there, and you know, that was just that experience.
Well, it's Louisville. Louisville's crazy.
Yeah.
I was working construction with my uncle and your father.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to Louisville and we're lined up. They've got, you know, the company worked for, not we did line up those jobs, but they had jobs lined up. So they dropped me by myself. All the equipment to reseal the driveway. The house looks awesome. Like a small mansion. I mean, it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, the darker it got, the more nervous I got. The more drug addicts came out, dude. I'm talking people literally, like you see in movies, walking up, come on, man, walk down here and buy me this bottle and I'll share it with you. And I was always like, no, I'm good. And dude,
you don't want to share a bottle with some homeless guys?
No. Oh, man, it's just bad. It was bad. Women walk around looking like ghosts, their skin so pale. And just, dude, it was horrible.
Why would you be there so late?
They left me.
Go.
And then they forgot about me and went all the way back to the shop. So I've got all of our equipment gathered up, sitting up on top of this, because the driveway gets like a...
I'm sure it was good equipment, too.
It's like a loop driveway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The driveway's like a loop, but it goes up to the top where the door is. It goes back down and around, back to the street again on the other side of the corner.
No.
So I've got all of our equipment all the way to the top of this driveway, sitting on a bucket.
Looking around?
Yeah.
Checking your
I'm a
surroundings?
teenager. I'm scared to death. I've got a shovel in my hand, just ready.
That's the best you had was that shovel.
People kept walking out. Come on, man, I'll go get us a hit. And,
fuck.
no, man, I'm fucking good. I'm going to sit right here on this bucket and swing shovels at people that are up.
You got a line. Don't cross it.
Finally, they pulled up. We're like, man, we throw about you. We went back to the shop. Here you go. So then it was scary. It's Louisville, man. Louisville shit.
But yeah,
There's some good parts of Louisville. I'm not saying all of Louisville. But for the most part, Louisville's got some really shitty places there.
Dad, he works down there he used to work with Joe at the pipe fitting place. He told me all kinds of stories. They had guys come up, hey, man, it's my hoodie. Trying to take a hoodie that's just sitting there. My hoodie, man. My hoodie. Fuck off, it's my hoodie. He's like, all right, shit, get out of here.
Take the motherfucker. It's yours.
Yeah, I think that's why I live around here and work around here. I don't like those big cities, man.
I don't like confrontation.
They can be
when I was younger, I loved confrontation. I mean, I used to get in fights all the time. The older I get, I don't like confrontation. Shit hurts now. You jump out of a tree when you're 20 and no big deal.
You get older. You want to tell that story about the whole tree thing while we're on it?
Which tree thing?
You know what tree thing I'm talking about.
I don't know which tree thing. There's a bunch of tree things.
You were walking home. Something jumps out of a tree.
Oh, have you heard about that story?
Yeah, I have heard about the story, but
to the listeners.
To the listeners, makes for good radio.
I went to my buddy's house that day.
Now, how old are you? Context.
Oh man, to give you a
rough estimate, I guess you can't remember.
12 to 14.
Okay.
Just to give you roughly. Riding bikes, just do what kids do at the neighbor kid's house.
Back when kids used to ride bikes.
Yeah. Down the street a little ways.
These weren't Fortnite bikes, by the way. These
are
not Fortnite stickers. This was what, 12 years before Fortnite? More?
Yeah, I mean, we had built rampant bikes, beat each other up, we get mad and then just laughing about it. Just being kids back then. Mm-hmm. Well, I heard Mom whistle. She either whistled or she called. I can't remember. Mom used to whistle real loud. And we'd know to come home.
So you're still around
the
house?
I think I stayed later.
You're still around the house then?
You could hear it across the neighborhood.
Okay.
If you leave your mom's, and you go up the hill and you turn like you're going to go over towards my mom's, and you start to go up the hill, the big steep hill, the last one, and the house was like one of those over there.
Okay.
She would whistle so loud we'd hear it.
Right through the pasture or whatever, right?
But I don't remember. I think she let me stay later, so she called him or something.
Okay.
Anyway, so walking down the street to come home, and when I get up almost up to the corner.
Was it dark? It was dark, right?
Oh, yeah, it was dark. It was 10, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Maybe a hair later. And I'm rounding the corner to come down the hill because at the top of the hill, they had a street light.
Right.
So I'm already scared. I'm walking down the street in the middle of the night. And I was never like scared. I was like, So.
Start creeping yourself out.
Oh, yeah. So I was getting ready to go up to the top where you go around the corner and come down the hill to our house. Mm-hmm. Some guy, dude, dressed in all black. I'm talking face covered all, jumped out of the tree behind me and told me, get the fuck, come here. What do?
You fucking haul ass.
I shit my pants and ran. Dude, he was probably stepping in my turds to fucking catch up to me, dude. I was scared. He comes running up, comes around the corner. I ran down the hill, and that's when I lost him. I ran in the house, told Mom and Dad. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Dad was home, but I told Mom. She locked the doors, and we were all creeped out. It stuck with me. It was weird.
Oh, I imagine so.
It was weird.
We're still in the green, so. This little bar here is showing us, if we get too loud, we're right there. We get too loud, we'll be up here.
Oh, okay.
So the gain helps too. We're at, what are we at? 20 minutes. Doesn't seem like 20 minutes, does it?
No, not at all.
What you been playing?
I've been playing a little bit of everything.
I know
a lot of games I haven't really played.
I know it's been causing some fatigue. I know we've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Just getting bored with shit.
With everything too quick. Yeah. Plus work's been doing a lot of overtime lately.
Right.
Like I said, with my position there also. Mm-hmm. Just stay busy and get right.
And that's usually keeping you out till 3. So when you come home, last thing you want to do is hop between 40 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been. I know one of our big problems is Black Ops 4 is the just no drive for this battle pass.
Yeah, this battle pass is bad compared to the others.
There's like I think
they've all been kind of
out of 100 items, there's like 75 stickers.
Yeah, I can agree.
Stickers.
Yeah, I haven't counted, but yeah, I can agree.
Who wants to earn stickers?
Nobody. Who uses them?
I haven't touched any of my stickers. I have like 8 rows. I have all of them because I've finished the last 2 battle passes.
Yeah,
I have every sticker.
Yep.
Stickle. Every sticker. There's just no drive, man. Save for those couple skins, that's about it.
Well, for me, man, it's just everything came out so quick too. Like for me personally, the new systems. I'm going to speak for PS4 because me, I'm a Sony guy.
Right. And that's mainly PlayStation coming up from Nintendo Entertainment System,
Nintendo,
the PS1, that kind of stuff.
Sega. I had a Sega. I've owned every Xbox minus the one.
Right.
Xbox One.
I remember you had 360 because I used to play.
I had 360 and I had an original.
Left 4 Dead
Xbox.
was what I played with everybody at your house.
Yeah. But anyway, so nothing was really coming out. It was real lackluster to me. I mean, you get a good game here, a good game there.
Right. Well,
but overall, for being a new system, I don't feel like really anything really good and a lot has come out for them.
Right. Nothing really system selling.
So, but like you blinked an eye. Now there's Red Dead Redemption 2. There's
which you still haven't finished. You're 10 minutes into it?
Well, I got out of the snowy mountain, and where you start your first settlement or your first camp, and I've done like a bounty hunter mission, and I don't know, maybe
still pretty early on.
Yeah, really early.
That's the thing about those live service games. They want to capture your attention, and they want to keep you playing.
Yeah.
Because sales don't mean as much anymore. It's playtime.
Yeah.
That's the reason Activision's got the tier system.
So then Spider-Man also came out.
Which you haven't finished.
Same, 20 minutes in, because I had so much all at one time. Now there's Metro.
Not to mention we were playing Black Ops every night.
Black Ops 4. I got Battlefield 5.
Right.
Which I don't recommend. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan.
Well, you played all of them. 1942.
Yes. I'll take Battlefields any day over Call of Duties and Medal of Honors and any of the shooters. But I feel like the last few have really been a letdown from the good roots.
Well, it seems like everybody wants a modern Battlefield.
I agree.
But you got to think they're in development already. Same reason, Infinite Warfare, no one wanted those boost jumps anymore, but they were already 2.5 years in.
Yeah.
They tried to turn that around.
Scrap the entire program.
Oh, I say that, but Black Ops 3, you look at all the recycled shit in that fucking game.
That's true. That's very true. But for me, what kept me at Battlefield was the gunfights. Yes, people, that takes too long to kill this guy. To me, that was part of it.
Right.
You're diving through a window, you're blowing out a wall, you're taking on a gunfight, you can actually live for a while. He can live for a while you guys fight it out, so he's got the better aim.
Right.
Whatever. That's what I loved about Battlefields. Battlefield 1 and 5 have really kind of steered back to closer to a Call of Duty time to kill type thing. Time to die. So by the time you actually engage in battle in Battlefield 5, the 3 bullets have been hit you, you're done drop.
Which is one thing I really do like about the new Call of Duty is you have that time to engage in that gunfight.
It's almost like they flop.
Right.
And now you got 150 health, and there's armors and blackout.
I'll take a couple shots in the back, be able to turn around and hose that guy.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is annoying.
That's why I used to love Battlefield. But Battlefield's steering away from that, and Call of Duty's going towards it. I don't know. Right. But anyway, there's just ton and ton of games that have come out.
How far are you in Anthem?
Not far. Maybe 1 or 2 story missions in.
Right, so you haven't even touched the end game yet.
No, not even near it. Loot's been okay. It's constantly dropping like health and ammo and stuff when you're killing things. And then you get like these little diamonds that pop up. And that is your loot. Whether it's your grenade thing or your mod for your gear or whatever's going on.
Right.
For your javelin. But it's been steady enough to where almost every mission we do and come back, I can change 1 or 2 things here and there, make stuff a little stronger here. It's been really good so far. Overtoes or Austin just got level 8 where he can change javelins now, so he can.
Oh, he's got that token. What he picked? Do you know?
I don't remember what they're called.
Was that him that uploaded, or was that you that uploaded the last picture? Does he have the American flag? Is that him, or are you still the Fallout picture, or are you both the American flag now?
It's the American flag, just our brand account.
Okay.
On Fat Dads.
Okay. Well, someone had. Did it let you pick in the beginning, or you start off with the Ranger?
I don't know what you start as.
It's
just kind of like a tutorial thing, but then they let you pick, and you have to pick between 4 different.
Oh, you can pick from any of them from the beginning.
Yeah, I guess, unless there's different ones I don't know about yet.
Okay.
But like there's I can't remember what it's called, but there's
the Ranger, the Storm, the Colossus, and the Strider.
I think he might have chose the Storm or the Strider.
Well, the Storm's got the cape, and I thought I saw him with the cape.
He's the one that he's floating around. And
right,
stuff,
with
so
the elemental shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the Storm. What did you pick? The Colossus?
I picked to start off with a Ranger. More of just soldier type.
Right.
But now that when I get to level 8, my other one that I'm going to pick is going to be the Colossus. Because you know me, I like the
Right.
tanky.
The only problem I have with the Colossus in the beta that I played, the beta we played, was that it didn't feel, it's got no shields. It makes up for that in health. But it just felt like.
It's got one big shield.
Right.
You can pull up.
Well, I'm at the, the shield bar.
Yeah.
So he didn't have none of that. I just felt like I was taking too much damage and being, destroyed. You have to let me know how that works out when you end up getting it.
Yeah, I'm going to pick him now. I know his weapons are
right.
better than most.
Yeah. Well, his starting off cannon's pretty good, but
yeah.
Then again, I didn't play really enough to get any loot or anything. So
it's good. I think you'd enjoy it. I really did.
The Division 2. You've been watching Michael play it, though, right?
Kids play it
First impressions from watching, just over the shoulder.
If you liked one, you'll like to. I mean, they obviously fixed a few bugs here, a few
right.
bugs there.
Well, you remember the first one at launch with all the bugs and the exploits and shit. From what I've seen online, that's better.
Yeah, most of that's gone. It's an overall better game.
What do you think about the change in setting?
The concept is almost the same.
Right. What do you think about the change in setting, just off the top of your head? From New York to DC? You like it?
I actually do. I think it's kind of cool.
Well,
Take it right at the heart of DC.
First mission is getting the White House back.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I haven't been to DC, but I'd like to see how it matches up compared to, DC.
It gets cheaper, or, I don't want to make myself sound like a cheap ass, but if it gets cheaper or everybody jumps on it to where I'm like, okay.
Well, especially with you playing Anthem.
I'll get it.
Especially with you playing Anthem. This same brand, same looter shooter genre.
Yes.
That's, people have been able to do Destiny and the Division 1 and that kind of stuff, but, especially with you working in overtime.
On it too.
Right.
Flying around in your javelins.
Iron Man, I heard Austin talking about Jarvis last time.
Well, there's this guy. It's a joke in the game, but it's, you're talking to a guy. I guess he's
back
in charge of the market where you can do like visuals, and he's always talking about the thunder. You want to, jump in with the thunder, and stuff like that. But they were talking about the javelins, and somebody said something about why it's called a javelin. He goes, "Well, could you imagine you being an enemy and you saying, oh look, it's a whole crew of skewers coming in, things you skew, grill with." It was funny.
Right.
I apologize.
That's all right.
Me being tired. It was funny.
Well, it was at 4 o'clock last night you were playing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We just hopped off. Man, changes to Black Ops 4 Battle Royale.
For the most part, none of them bother me up or down. You know my whole big take, armor.
Right.
I can't stand the different level of armor thing.
Mm-hmm.
Either you have armor or you don't.
Right.
Kind of thing for me.
What? So with Battlefield Firestorm coming out Monday, expectations, wants, hopes.
I'm keeping my expectations low. I hope it does really well.
Which is reasonable, especially with the track, especially with
the track record here lately.
Right, and all the other battle royales that are out.
Yes. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've always been a huge fan of Battlefields. I hope it comes roaring through and kills Fortnite and
Apex and everything else.
All of them.
We'll touch on Apex here in a minute,
but it's good though. I think it'll be fun.
An issue I have, I think, is the 64 players, which I know that
I hear they're doing more later.
They should, and I hope they do, because you look at something like Call of Duty that went from 80 to 100, which they improved. So I imagine DICE will do the same thing. But you also got to keep in mind that engine is running destructible environments all over the big ass map.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's true.
Details, call outs, V1 rockets coming down.
Yeah.
Which they're having a pacing issue. Is why when the map starts off, it's 1/3 of it's cut off. The storm's already there as soon as you drop in. So like say the island's huge, this side's gonna be off because that storm's cutting it off already. So I think they're gonna improve. They're gonna bump the player numbers, that way you can access that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole down but not out thing? Context for those of you that don't know is whenever you drop in a battle royale, you're usually kind of reserved just to crawl around and try and hide or get cleaned up. In Firestorm, you're allowed to shoot your gun, a mag out of it, your pistol, and use your knife.
Yeah, your secondary ammo.
And move around, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear knife.
Yeah, once you're out of ammo, you can knife.
I didn't hear that.
Now, whether that means insta-kill on someone, you knife their feet, I don't know if that counts, but,
Well, no, Battlefield. I mean,
right.
It could go into an animation where you grab it and yank them down to you or something.
Right, how much would that piss you off?
Oh, horrible. I mean, it would be cool to be able to do it, but I wouldn't like it when it was done to me.
It's going to incentivize people just to clean up anyways. As soon as you drop somebody, you're finishing them off.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you can finish them off, because in the main...
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get creeped out here.
in the main battlefield, in the main battlefield game, you can't finish people when they're down. Like, you see an enemy, you kill them, and they're crawling around asking for help. You can't do anything to them. You can't do anything.
Yeah, they're just there.
So I wonder if that's going to translate over to Battle Royale, where you can't finish people. Which I don't think it will, because you can shoot when you're down. So I imagine you're allowed to finish people. But just, if they feel like, in Black Ops, you already get pissed off getting finished immediately.
I'll say the idea doesn't bother me of being able to shoot right down. What's going to bother me is this. You just battled it out with a crew. You've dropped a guy. And you're already shooting at each other.
Right.
So you may be the victor of that battle with 10 health left. Well, his 2 bullets out.
Right.
Now you're dropped also.
It's interesting to see how they're going to balance that.
So.
You think they'll go free to play? I think if it wants to live, it'll go free to play. Especially with EA competing with themselves with Apex.
I've already heard it. If I heard correctly, I think it's supposed to be free for if you own the game or whatever.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But something like standalone, like Apex. Well, that's not a good example. Maybe like Fortnite. You don't have to have Save the World to play Fortnite Battle Royale. That's what I mean. Something free to play. Which I feel like it'll live and die by that. You have a good enough player base that they'll stick with it. But if you want to get new players in, you look at something like, what are you hearing?
I don't know. I hear all kinds of stuff.
We're going to take a small break. We'll be right back. We're going to stop that. All right. We're back recording now. And we're playing. All right. We're back. Looks like our recording's a little bit farther ahead, but I don't know how to fix that, so I'm going to leave it. What were we talking about? We took a little bit of a break, just so you know, and scared each other. So.
Video games.
Video games.
We're just talking.
Just speaking. Yeah.
Talked about Battlefield. We were talking about Battlefield's Firestorm.
Right. Expectations, what we want from it, that kind of thing. Just something else we're going to play, man. There's already, Fortnite, we don't play much anymore. I was hoping Michael would come so I could talk to him about Fortnite, because he still plays it.
Yeah, not as heavy as he was.
But I'll get him on one of these days so we can talk about it.
He still plays it.
Yeah.
He's big on the Apex right now also.
All right. That's all he ever wants to play. Oh, Apex. That's what we were going to talk about. Apex Legends. Apex Legends. See, there's the pop. Hear it?
A little bit. Not bad.
But we're not right on it, so. Apex Legends.
Does this help?
What if I get this close?
Does this help?
Is this louder?
This is better. I'm going back.
They're going to go, shit! Pull out their headphones.
I'm going back.
All right. There we go. Apex Legends is EA and Respawn's free-to-play Battle Royale.
I don't ever plug the publishers.
Right. Well, think Fortnite, but for a different crowd, kind of like more of a shooter kind of crowd.
Definitely.
You can't build the Taj Mahal as soon as you get shot at.
No, none of that's happening.
Bigger emphasis on movement. Like, what is it? Octane has a movement one. Bloodhound has a movement.
Yep.
Mirage.
Kind of.
Bangalore is her passive is movement.
Yes.
So what do you think? You like it? I know.
I enjoy it quite a bit.
I was iffy on your thoughts on it at first because, it's from people from Titanfall 2, and I know you weren't exactly a huge fan of Titanfall 2.
Titanfall was good. Just had a lot of changes that needed to be made, in my opinion. Like the whole bots running around thing, I thought was just
right. That's a big disclaimer. This is opinions, by the way. This is opinions. So.
No, yeah, absolutely.
If you don't agree with something, just know it's opinions.
Yeah, it's all right. That's my absolute opinion. Which I'm awesome and right all the time.
Right. Well, you like Apex though.
I do. I like Apex a lot.
Changes for Apex?
I don't know what you call it. RNG.
Yeah, like on the random rolls for shotguns. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you shoot someone in the head, it'll do 10 damage. Someone shoots you in the toe, it'll do 240.
Yes.
Right.
That kind of thing I think needs to change.
Well, Fortnite had that problem as well with the shotguns. That's why double pump was such a big thing, because it was damage output quick.
Yeah. So like one time I can pick up, the Peacekeeper. It's the shotgun in the game.
Right.
One time I can pick it up and run up to one guy and hit him maybe twice in the chest and do so much damage he's down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can jump down on top of someone, shoot on top of the head, and get 14 damage.
Right. Which happened to you.
It did happen to me. Which it was odd to me.
Bree lives next door. Look what she just said. She said, is that you I hear yelling? Because we were just downstairs scaring each other.
Yes.
Anyways.
But yeah, it's
I like it, relatively. Now, would I prefer Blackout because it's easier? Absolutely. I'm good at Blackout.
I think maybe that's why I like Apex so much. Because I can't just run through and do whatever I want.
Right.
To where, you think about, going back to the games I've played, Battlefield, Call of Duty, like, my KDs have always been great.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Black Ops 4, it's well on its way to a 2, I believe.
Right.
It's under. It's a 1 point something. It's on its way to 2. You know what I mean? So that's always easy to run around. Like most Call of Duties, we'll say older Call of Duties, you could pretty much run around a corner, and as long as you were shooting as you rounded the corner,
right.
if someone was there, you had to jump.
Mm-hmm.
To where this Apex, it's harder. They're going to move, they're going to jump, they're going to slide.
Oh, it's about position, and it's about strategy, and it's about outplaying your opponent.
See, I don't know so much about position for myself.
Right.
I know anytime I try to take high ground on someone, it's like all they can see is my head.
Oh, yeah?
So they have it better than I have.
Mm-hmm. Same reason you don't go pro in other battle royales, right?
True.
Just gives you a straight headshot.
Yeah.
It's good. I think the battle pass is shit.
Oh, yeah. In my opinion, probably the worst battle pass I've seen on any video game ever.
A lot of...
Which, Call of Duties are always, I won't say always, Call of Duties have been known to be bad.
Right.
Tons of duplicates constantly.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing.
Want.
That's good. If you're going to have loot boxes, which I disagree with completely, it's gambling. But if you're going to have loot boxes, the non-duplicates of Apex is just a godsend. Nothing pisses me off more than getting a duplicate sticker I've already got.
But with this battle pass they have, I don't feel like what you're tearing up to and earning
right.
is worth the battle pass.
Well, from what I saw, it takes a minute.
It does.
To go tier. I don't know how they base that off of challenges or playtime.
Just give you an example. Last night, I don't remember how many matches we played on Black Ops 4 or Blackout. I tiered up 4, 5, 6 times.
Right.
Whatever the case may be.
Well, it's about 45 to 50 minutes a tier. So
then over on Apex, we played for hours upon hours before you go home. Y'all got home and played Black Ops, and I went up 2 tiers. If I went up to full 2.
Well, that's a rough spot because it's free to play. So you try to complain about it, and they're gonna be like, "Well, you don't have to play it. You had no entry price."
Well, that's true. But if you want me to buy it or play it,
right.
it needs to be worth it.
Exactly. Especially
I feel like changes to their battle pass would already automatically get more players, would automatically get more revenue to compete with people like Fortnite.
Right.
Fortnite I loved back in the day when it first released, and then what they would consider fixes, I considered ruining it.
Right.
To where it just turned into nothing but shotgun battles, building shotgun battles.
Well, that's the good thing is you have choices for your battle royale fix.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I complain about is the oversaturation. But when you hit that point, you want to.
H1Z1 was.
It was alright.
When it released for this, the PS4.
But it was kind of all we had that was pseudo-military. That wasnwasn't Fortnite. That's why everybody played it.
But it wasn't bad, really,
right?
For what it was and how old it was, being a plug over.
Right.
It really wasn't.
But
bad.
They got outdone by competition, which there are still some people that play it.
Watching PUBG be played, I really enjoyed. Playing it on console.
I remember I had you play it on the Xbox when I first got it. Before it came to PS4.
The controls.
That's a big thing.
On PUBG console is just absolutely horrific.
Now there's no denying PUBG needs graphics fixes. It needs bug fixes. It needs a lot of stuff. But
I just feel like the crew, who was it,
Bluehole.
Yeah. I feel like they should focus on their fixes. Quit worrying about maps and content.
Right.
Focus on their next project.
Yeah.
Because you could take a PUBG and call it something else. I don't care if you call it PUBG 2.
Well, Brendan Green, the guy, I guess he sold it to Bluehole, so now Bluehole runs that. He's starting his own studio here soon, doing his own kind of game. So I'm interested to see what comes out of that.
It's always scary. They fail a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's what he's saying.
Big time companies.
Well,
Look at Telltale.
Well, he's got the money. I mean.
Telltale came out and got themselves in a world of trouble right off the bat.
Well, Telltale was buying too much properties and trying to pump them out too quick, which I really enjoyed Telltale games. But you make bad decisions and you lay off all your employees, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's where are you gonna go from there?
Right. Well, the good news is Skybound bought, because Skybound is Robert Kirkman's own studio. So Robert Kirkman owns The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So they picked up The Walking Dead. They didn't have to do no asset buying or buying the intellectual property. Like Borderlands, Skybound probably couldn't do that unless they bought Borderlands. Like the IP. That's the way Telltale was able to do it. They buy the IP and then make games based off it. Skybound can do The Walking Dead because they own The Walking Dead. So they don't have to ask themselves, hey, can we do this? So they finished that up. I still haven't played that. The final season of The Walking Dead.
I'm not going to because it can't be finished, right?
No, they're finishing it.
They are going to finish it?
Yeah, Skybound's finished it with some original people from Telltale.
Oh, okay. So well, then, yes, I will get it and pick it
up. I usually wait till it comes out on the disc when it's all there.
I didn't do all the spin-off ones like the Michonne one.
Right, I didn't touch the Michonne one or 400 Days. Yeah,
I didn't touch it either.
I did do the Final Frontier because Clementine was in it, so it was part of the story.
It is part of the story?
Yeah, I own that if you want to borrow it.
I'll definitely take it and play it.
Yeah, it's at Dad's house, so maybe not right now, but I will.
Oh, okay. Just offer me stuff you ain't got.
Right. So, like I said, oversaturation of battle royale market is, when do you get to that point?
Well, I'm worried about oversaturation.
You want choices, but when you have, there's 5 or 6 out right now.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. Easily. And what do you play?
There's 100 of them on mobile.
Right. Especially on PC.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. Tons. So.
But I don't know about, I think what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to push the bar. I think it's going to force people to push the bar, raise the bar, if you will.
Right.
Apex did it. If you'd have just told anybody there's another battle royale coming out, Titanfall characters, your diehard Titanfall fans,
pick it up.
May have picked it up.
Kind of like Battlefield, diehard people are going to pick that up. But
even if it was just linear battle royale,
right,
it would have failed. Mm-hmm. But Apex being what it is, they really did well. The release time, I think, was
How
great.
is that ping system, by the way?
Great. It's got a great ping system.
You like that ping system?
I do like the ping system.
Fortnite's taking that ping system.
That's what I heard.
And the respawn mechanic. You like that?
I heard that also.
They're taking that. Which, whatever, I guess. Whatever makes it funner. People who like Fortnite and play Fortnite will be able to experience that now.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be able to try that respawn mechanic and that ping system. So, which it's great. I love it. That's one of the things I love about that game.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at it. Is the reason I don't play it that much.
It's real fluid, though. The game's fluid. You know what I mean?
It runs good.
The ping system, everything's good about it.
That's running on the Source engine. They use Valve uses for like Left 4 Dead and stuff.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I would say my only actual problem with it, other than RNG, just random problems, is the amount of lag. I get a little bit of lag now and then.
Right.
It's not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, if you play for a night and maybe 2-3 matches, you get where your guys are almost slow motion.
Right. I get that.
Other than that, it's great. I mean, it's a good game.
You want to talk about how Call of Duty decides to fuck up your PlayStation?
Oh, mine?
When you try to do anything. It's the same on mine. Press the PS button, try to go up to friends list, and it just stops. And then it'll put you back on the game.
It freezes. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention, before they started doing updates, it would crash my system and corrupt my data.
This Black Ops 4 has been the worst game when it comes to blue screens.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the zombies people, we don't play much zombies, but they try to play, they'd hit round like 25 and crash. They couldn't go for high rounds because it would crash.
I had the same problem.
So that was a big thing about that.
Me and Chloe had made it to 47, we're on 47, and then it crashed as we were in the middle of playing. So
that's just annoying. Just makes you not want to play anymore.
Well,
really,
they blame a lot of it on publishers pushing deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
They need to leave them alone, let the game come out and release a good game.
Yeah.
Rather than
shareholders too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big thing trying to please everybody.
You want your money, but when you release a shit game, it's not going to do well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, not calling almost anything we've talked about tonight shit, but
right.
I just in general, look at the Battlefronts that have been coming out. The whole Loot Crate thing, the whole thing they've done with them, they've kind of flopped here and there.
Right. Well, what did you think, to switch topics here, what did you think about that whole Mueller report coming out? Proved a lot of people wrong, didn't it?
I haven't really read much on it. The only thing I read on it was that he released his final report and that the Attorney General, I believe, had read over it, went through it, and made sure that Mueller and the special investigators didn't do anything wrong.
For full context, politics is going to come up every now and then. And if you disagree, my uncle here is really conservative, would you say? Fair?
Yeah.
Fair?
I would say conservative / independent, maybe.
Right.
To a certain degree.
I encourage you, if you disagree, to not click off, but to listen. Maybe you might learn something different.
Comment, and let's have a conversation.
Right. Other viewpoints are important to listen to.
Something I try not to do ever, is to insult people. You get some people.
Right.
Both sides, obviously. I'm not saying just one side, because there was a conversation on Facebook here recently where a buddy of mine was talking to his liberal friends about the whole report coming out, and then
Right.
But as other people got on there and kind of bashed him rather than just have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
It's important to listen to other viewpoints. That way you might learn something.
Yeah, comment. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out.
Right. Well, it just proved a lot of people wrong.
No, absolutely.
It basically
it was a huge waste of taxpayer money.
Right, a witch hunt.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And
for those of you that don't know, no Russian collusion was found. Like there was no evidence of anything like that found. So
it was something people need to keep in mind too. Listening to this is Trump. I've never been like a huge fan of Trump, the guy himself.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the policies he's pushed. I think he's done okay as a president. I think he's done good. They talk about the wall being overly expensive, but when you look at what we spend on illegal immigration itself.
Well, you think he's actually going to get to it? To the wall?
I don't know. I hope so.
He ran on that. That's a big issue, is he ran on that. And I know it's, with the Democrats blocking him when he tries to do that kind of stuff, it probably doesn't help, but he's got to find a way to do that.
Well, he did the emergency declaration.
Right.
They tried to block it. He vetoed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going to happen from there.
It's just a wait and see kind of thing, I guess, at this point. It's important. It's imperative that he builds that wall.
I don't think it's imperative to his reelection.
Right.
But I do think it's imperative to his...
Maybe public image a little bit.
Because his legacy, his public image.
Right. I mean, people voted for him because of that.
Yeah, they did.
A lot of the part.
I think a lot of your smarter people will realize that he can't just say poof and get it.
Right. Well, you think of some people who aren't maybe, not throwing any shade, but maybe not as educated. They kind of see just the headlines.
There's a lot of that.
Trump's not going to build a wall. They don't really look into the fact that he's being blocked, or this is the reason he can't, or maybe the tax rate, or that kind of stuff.
There will be a lot of that.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting stuff, man.
It is. Politics are interesting. Before I would have never told you that I was actually conservative. I do lean conservative.
Right.
But whenever I voted, I've actually voted for who I thought was going to do the best job, and my tickets have always been pretty well split. This past election that we just had here was the first time I ever went.
Go on, Cat.
Strictly red across the board, and it's because of how the other side has been acting, and just over the top. And I don't mind. They're used to have some good old boy Democrats,
right?
But I'm trying to think how to put it. They've gone so radical. Here lately that when you start talking about gun control that doesn't work on anyone but criminals, and you start talking about green deals how do you regulate a cow farm? It's a key example on how to do things, or how they're doing things. Socialism has never worked, never will work.
Right, we'll just look at Venezuela.
It never works.
Everybody likes to say that's not, a good example of socialism, but it's close to the gut, really.
You can even look at places like Switzerland, where it seems to be working better than others.
Right.
Dude, their tax rate's still 60-70%.
Mm-hmm.
How do you sustain on that? I don't know if you were to take 60-70% of my paycheck, I'm not making a living.
Right.
So, it doesn't work.
You think there will be a civil war?
I don't know. I do believe if it keeps getting bad, as far as divided as we are, it could be.
Well, you look at people like Antifa, would like to stand for anti-violence, that kind of stuff, but they use violence to get that done.
Yes.
A big thing I like to hear is that when it comes to the Civil War, one side's going to have, signs and that kind of stuff. One side's going to have AR-15s, but you think about it, they're going to use any means to get their point across, whether that be using an AR-15 to get no violence across, or that kind of stuff.
One problem I see is, let's just say you divide the country exactly how it is. Your left go left, your right go right.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, your right owns most of the guns, most of the ammo, most of the.
But a lot of these people aren't going to go to bat with signs. They're not going to go up against other people with signs. They're going to go up against with their weapons. They're going to go up against with their stuff.
No,
their
I totally
tools.
agree.
Right.
But when you consider, say, 1,000 people run into a city of 1,000, and only 300 of those 1,000 on the left side have guns or ammo, and considering the entire 1,000 running into the city do have, it's pretty cut and dry who's going to win that battle.
Right.
And I hope, like hell, we never, ever have to go through that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody really wants to go down to that, despite what some people might say.
If it was to happen, if it was to go down, I don't think it's going to work out as the left thinks it will.
Right.
To where everything's going to just eventually come down to they run everything. Everything's peaceful.
Well, hopefully people can be civil and have a conversation instead of going straight to violence.
I agree.
Which is a big thing you don't see too often.
No, not at all.
Obstruction of speech at like U.S. Berkeley and that kind of stuff with Ben Shapiro and Crowder. You see all that kind of stuff where people like to shut that down instead of having a conversation.
Have the conversation. Let's not scream. Let's not holler. Let's have the overall conversation. It just makes more sense that way. To me.
Well, you don't see that a lot. They like to shut that down instead of hearing the opposite viewpoint, which is important, which is kind of why I brought that up. If you don't agree with anything we're saying, listen to it.
Yeah, people need to be able to, like me, I can take it. If you tell me you think this part of my viewpoint is stupid because of this, I should be able to take that and tell you why I think it ain't and why I think yours is.
Absolutely.
And it just be a conversation. Not an overall battle where people just scream at each other and tell each other you're stupid,
right.
you're an idiot, you're a racist. Come on, let's think about the left. Everything's racist.
Right.
Everything.
With PC culture, it's a big thing too.
Yeah.
Everything's PC. Everything's
racist.
Offensive. Everything's offensive. You can't say anything without being labeled. That's the thing they use to shut you down. When you're labeled, you don't really want to keep on with that.
Yeah.
When you're labeled, you're labeled. That's a way of shutting you down. That's not great. So.
I agree.
Politics, man.
They're crazy.
Definitely, that's a big thing we see too. Is people like to choose sides instead of going down the middle. You identify one thing with the right. I like that. I'm right. They don't go down the middle with.
Yeah, I know.
I can see this side. I can see that side.
I can definitely see why some liberal policies or socialist policies, I guess if you will, can be helpful. Our Medicaid we have right now, it helps probably millions of people.
That's the thing too is people use it that don't need it.
Absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
How do you regulate that? Background checks, drug tests, that kind of thing. It's important. But, if you decide to maybe shut that down completely, people who need it aren't getting it. Right.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
I just don't think maybe if you're going to do some type of socialist policy, maybe you should allow people to pick if they want to put into that or not.
Right.
Because I'll be the first guy to stop the guy on the side of the street and hand him money.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people won't do it. They think he's going to go about it. I don't care what he's going to do with it.
Right.
But it's going to be, man, I don't know. They're going to have to come to a point where they got to have these conversations. It's going to be bad.
So with things, especially I don't want to say prosecution, but the people don't look at Christianity like they used to these days. And with you being a Christian, how does that make you feel? All the people look down on it.
They do look down on it.
Not as many people maybe follow that as much as they used to. It's more fading out than anything else, if you want me to say.
But I don't consider myself perfect by no means.
Oh, well, I don't think a perfect Christian exists.
As people look at the YouTube channel, they look at these podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I cuss.
Right.
I'll be the first to tell you. Well, now my conviction of cussing may be different than yours. Or the thing about being a Christian is it all comes down to your personal relationship with God.
Correct.
It has to. God, Jesus, however you want to put it. Because what we have nowadays is people claim to be Christians, but they're the first to judge someone on what they're doing.
Right.
The very first ones.
Especially with the rise of homosexuality and the different genders and the different sexual stuff. One big thing of contention is people like Christians, quote unquote, come out and judge that, but you also got to look back on it that you're not supposed to judge.
Yeah.
Although you may disagree with something.
The way I look at judging is you're not supposed to judge people to hell.
Right.
Not so much as, but also, the Bible says that, if I'm not mistaken, to one man it's a sin, to another it's not.
Right.
How it maybe translates to some. If I see someone who I guess is homosexual or gay, I guess if you will, I don't have to agree with it. As a Christian, I don't have to agree with it at all. However, I feel like as a Christian, I'm still supposed to love that person.
Correct.
You shouldn't hate them. You shouldn't look down on them in any other way. You can talk to them about God, try to get that point out there.
Well, you got a little bit more personal connection than some people might, especially with my cousin, your nephew.
Yes. Which
I hope to have on pretty soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially with someone like you who's more conservative. I figure he'd lean a little more liberal.
I feel like he leans liberal, but not fully.
Right. So it'd be interesting to hear his take on all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
Hopefully I can have him on here soon. I'll get a hold of him. But
it's just, it is what it is. We got too many people judging each other out there. Too many people.
Right.
But you're right. I don't know if I'd say persecution, but Christianity's definitely looked down on now.
Right.
Especially from the left right now,
mm-hmm.
which is scary.
Well, our president's open about his Christianity.
Yeah.
And for people who disagree with that, that's kind of, they might not like that. I think that's where it might be stemming from.
I mean, at worst, what? He's not a Christian. He lied about it to get elected.
Right.
He's a politician. He's not, but he's turned one. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Almost anyone, and you can't tell me any politician, any president who has never told a white lie or any type of thing.
Right.
If they thought it would help him get elected.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
But for me personally, I try to stick constitutionally, and it's worked for this many years. It should work for another however long.
Right. Well, we are at 55 minutes, so if you want to, we're gonna cut it there.
Okay.
You want to plug
Let's wrap it up.
You want to plug the YouTube channel one last
Yes,
time?
Fat
Let
Dad's,
everybody know where they can find it. You know what to look up, what's on the channel, that kind
it's
of stuff.
Fat Dad's Gaming. We play a multitude of games: Apex, Call of Duty, a little bit of everything. We played Anthem, and there's gonna be more. We're gonna play all kinds of games. I've got a hunting tips video that my sister recorded, just me acting stupid. And I plan on doing more. We're gonna put up what we want. It's gonna be a family fun thing. We all just get together and post stuff.
And that's Fat Dad's Gaming.
Fat Dad's Gaming.
YouTube. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for being on with me.
No problem.
And that is that. Shoot.
Now you